Hello friends, thanks for joining us for this morning's Ag Report. Well, Brett McCrae is in Orlando covering the National Association of Wheat Growers meeting at the Commodity Classic. Brett caught up with Montana Grain Growers President Nathan Keane from Loma about one of the key items of discussion there, establishing policy to ensure that winter wheat is recognized as a cover crop by USDA.
When we're talking cover crops, it's all about getting a live root in the ground and having that live root in there for a certain amount of time and the benefits that it has. And so we're pushing that, winter wheat fits in that category of cover crop. The only difference is you have a live root in the ground longer than having a cover crop in, then terminating it, then having to reseed something else in there. So that should fit right there in as cover crop, and it should be paid as a cover crop.
Well, the Department of the Interior has announced steps to restore wild populations of bison on prairie grassland ecosystems. The order from Secretary Deb Haaland will use $25 million from the Inflation Reduction Act to restore bison, which she says will strengthen rural economies dependent on grassland health and provide for the return of bison to tribally owned and ancestral lands. The order itself is pretty expansive and raises caution about what it means for producers who graze on public lands. A resolution from the Montana Senate opposing the introduction of bison on the CMR Wildlife Refuge was transmitted to the House last week. Well, grab yourself a cup of coffee. We'll see you back here for the markets.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought. There always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. But it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Thanks for joining us back here for the Ag Report. The annual Power of Meat survey from the Meat Institute finds that Americans are eating more fresh meat than before the pandemic. Despite rising food prices, consumers did not significantly change the amount of meat they buy, down just 2.5% compared to 2021. Product quality and appearance continue to be the top factors driving meat purchase decisions, followed by price per pound. To save money, 76% of consumers report they made changes to the amount, type, or cut of meat they purchase, and 17% said they buy less meat with organic, grass-fed, or other claims. Well, feeder cattle futures pushed to more new contract highs as corn prices fell back to their lowest point since August. Cash-fed cattle trade has been higher for 5 straight weeks, but very slow to develop this week as packers haven't even started offering bids yet. A large offering of bred cows at Miles City Livestock featuring a 500 cow dispersion. Most of the young cows bring in 2,200 to 23 1/4, mid-age cows 1,875 to 2,000. Lamb feedlot inventories continue to move lower, down 1/3 from this time last year, and that's helping prices to improve. And a disappointing day for the wheat as the World Supply and Demand Report forecasts U.S. and world-ending wheat stocks lower than expected, but the futures ignored that and rather fell victim to spillover pressure from the corn. Well, that's going to do it for this morning's Ag Report. Thanks so much for joining us and have a great day.